All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well, while learn this truth from, and salutation out there to the hopeful elect, who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. And today, man, just basically again and touching on the times that we are in. You know, the times that we are in is when Esau is finna get a whole bunch of sellouts, especially of the nation of Israel. You know, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that real quick. This is the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 16. It says, "For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed." That's it, man. Let's get this in the NLT. "For the leaders of these people have misled them." And how have these people did that? Perfect example, this bride, Nicki Minaj. She's all up there buddy with Trump. And she's a rapper, man. It's not like she's a political activist or she did something that was just so amazing. No, man. She had a she made bees in the trap and all those different things like that. And all of a sudden now she have a gateway into the White House. And ultimately that disfigures Jake mind. I think that's the way up, man. To be a rapper and a woman with a fake booty, man. You know? But at the same time, why ain't have no righteous men up there prophesying against America? Why? Because if a man was up there, and a lot of times, like when it come to going back into like people going to the White House, Jake in general, niggas like Eazy-E. You know, he went to the White House, man. If you win the Super Bowl, you go to the White House. And a lot of these people, once you really sit down and talk to them, they're mentally distraught. And the reason why, because they trust in this wicked system, man. Because people don't even know the inner workings of these people's mind. A lot of these people are depressed, you know. They're bugged out in the minds. They hate the things they had to do to get to that point. But on the outside looking in, the outside of the cup look clean as hell, man. People on the outside looking in like Nicki Minaj, you know. Maybe one day I could be president, you know. But at the same time, it just shows you how ultimately here in this Western society and us being disconnected from our power, man, Jake just cleave onto anything for hope. That's all that is, man. You know, and once Jake get that thing, guess what? He realized it ain't what it really was, man. You know? Let's read this again in the NLT. "For the leaders of these people have misled them." Yes, you thought that record contract was going to get you out the hood, but this nigga P. Diddy said more money, more problems. And the reason why it's more problems because you're dealing with Esau. You know, continuing on, it says they have led them down the path of destruction. And the part of you going down that path of destruction is you being separated from your power and you being mentally distraught, not knowing what's going on. The vibration upon the planet Earth is war. And why all of a sudden, she should have asked about Ukraine or Israel. But again, once you up in that level of this black boule, you can't ask certain questions, man. But let's go ahead and get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Maccabees, you know? Because this is not no first thing that happened. No, man. Things that was written before time was written for our learning. So guess what? The only thing this devil doing is running the play that he ran back in during the time of the Maccabees. This is the book of Maccabees 1, and I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, in those days that went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. And don't be surprised when that micro C-hip come out here that the celebrities are going to push forth you taking it. That's a part of you making a covenant with the heathen, man. You know, continuing on, though. It says, who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen. And they persuaded many. And why? Because of their influence, you know? If it was just a regular guy on the street corner telling you not to take it, you ain't going to listen to him. But just because Nicki Minaj met the president and got a nice fake booty, and ultimately she made bees in the trap, that's the reason why people are going to lean and trust in her. in her decision making, for the lack of better words, man. Because that's what it's gonna go down to, decision making. You're gonna either have to decide whether you want to serve the Most High or whether you want to serve Esau Edom. Continuing on, it says, "Let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." Yes, and that's what Jake. If you want to do better, we got to be just like the white man. If you just go to college and do this, one day you could be president of the United States, man. Ultimately, what these people do, they try to guilt trip you and to cleave unto this society, man. But as soon as you cleave unto this society, you're really cleaving unto death, man. Let's go ahead and continue on. So this device pleased them well. And why does that device please them? Of people who are of the Israelite heritage. Why does that please them when they convert people into their wicked side? The reason why, because that means these people are more and more separated from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go ahead and continue on. Then certain of the people were so forward therein, them niggas was so wicked, they went to the king who gave them license to do the ordinances of the heathen. Yes. And one of the ordinance of the heathen that's going to come up again is taking their seed help. Because once you take that device and that device inside you, you really no longer a Israelite, man. You're Israelite by blood, but you're an Edomite, man, until you die and come back into the kingdom of heaven, But again, it says who gave them license to sin after the ordinance of Israel. So that's somebody who's so high up, man, who have an influence and ultimately got documents saying, yeah, you better recircumcise your child. You better commit adultery. You better not sacrifice. And it's going to get to a point when, like they told Paul, man, you better, not Paul, Peter, you better not call upon those names, because that's what it's finna get ready to be, man. A real a line in the sand. And that line in the sand represents either you're going to be with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, or whether you're going to be with Esau and the heathen. And like the scripture says, the Lord put forth in front of you life or death. Choose ye life that you may live. Continuing on. Then certain other people were so forward therein that they went to the king who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise in Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. Yes, because even then, once you get into that celebrity lifestyle, you got to push forth the device. It's like you on the 501c3, look at Kyrie. He had a good 6 months. He talking about Hebrews, and they pulled his ass to the side, man. And he's as quiet as a mouse now, Continuing on, it says, and joined themselves to the heathen, and joined themselves into the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. And the part of that sold to do mischief is you selling out. They give you so much amount of money in order for you to convert and deceive the people. And who's the perfect person to do that besides the damn black woman? Because she's been doing it ever since the time of Genesis. Let's get this. Yeah, because Nicki Minaj, this is nothing new, man. Her with Trump is a beautiful scene because there's prophecy coming in effect. But guess what? That nigga don't love you, man. The so-called white man don't love you. Because ultimately he's gonna, Trump probably did some strange things to her after. But at the end of the day, when the missiles hit and things get bad, it's not like Trump is gonna go out the way, make sure we save Nicki Minaj. No. she's gonna get burnt like the rest of you niggas, man. Continuing on, let's get this in Genesis 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now that serpent, the Bible is full of metaphors and similes. That serpent is actually talking about a person. And that's the reason now Jake say he a snake or a snake ass nigga. That's the spirit that Esau Edom was in back during the time of the garden. This is not talking about a snake, it's talking about an actual person. Continuing on, it says, which the Lord, Yahweh Shai power hath made, and he said unto the woman, yeah, hath the Most High said, ye should not eat of every tree of the garden. Now, those different trees of the garden is not talking about, it was papayas, it was dragon fruit, it was apples. No. That tree of the garden is talking about the philosophies. Continuing on, it says, "And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, Ye should not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." And basically, that's really talking about these different philosophies that the heathen was in, man. You know? And even the philosophy of a woman ruling over a man, the philosophy, I could do bad by myself. And even the term, a strong black woman. Why is not no strong Chinese woman? That don't sound right. A strong Asian, a strong Middle Eastern woman. No, man. Only thing is a strong black woman. The reason why that term is so heavy, because the serpent came to Eve with the same doctrine, you know? And guess what Eve did? Eve gave it to Adam, because the best way to get through a man, you got to go through his woman, man. You know? Now, let's go ahead and continue on, though. It says, "But of the fruit that of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most I have said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." And ultimately, this was a necessary evil. But again, this nigga lying. This nigga gave two lies and one truth. Because again, he said you should not surely die, which we did die. That's why through Adam and Eve, sin came in the world. But it says, "For he know when you eat of it, you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." So now you know both sides. Now you could be the perfect judge, man. Let's go ahead and continue on, though. "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and a tree to be desired to make one," it's like it. Read this again. It says, "And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes." And that's how you know it was fleshly. Feminism. It sound good. Even if it might look good, but at the same time, it's wicked, man. It don't push forth life, and ultimately it push forth death. Continuing on, it says, "And that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat." So basically, it was going into the philosophies of the heathen. "And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons." Now you saw them it was just, they was, animals swinging and Eve was jiggling. No, man. Ultimately they started to take upon the customs of the heathen. But again, it all goes back into what Eve giving that philosophy unto her man. Now, here and now, it's a such thing called toxic masculinity. No, that's not no doctrine that was made in a time of Adam and Eve. No, that doctrine was made once the serpent got into it, man. But again, it's not like when all these things go down and you took a custom of the heathen, you were the best voodoo priest in it, It don't matter. When all hell break loose and shit go downhill, Esau, he's not going to save you damn people, man. Let's get this in the book of Isaiah 28. Because again, just because you take on his philosophies and you cooning it out, hey, Esau hate you more. But at the same time, Yahweh Shemal Shai is just really setting Jacob for the get-go. This is the book of Isaiah 28 in verse 18. It says, "And your covenant with death shall be disannulled." Yes. So the agreement that Eve and the serpent made, and niggas who continue to follow after Eve and the serpent, hey, you're going to be disannulled. So you being a rapper, they ain't going to save you, man. In the time when all hell break loose, ultimately, he's going to leave your ass out there, man. Continuing on, it says, "And your agreement with hell shall not stand." The black blue lady. The Lord might take a cut. The Lord going to take a lot of you niggas out. And Esau might save one nigga, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones' nephew. We got to bring that nigga back. But at the same time, just going back, Esau know what's going on, man. And he know when all hell break loose that he's not going to save the children of Israel. And the Lord is going to make sure Esau don't save you. Because why? You're going to have to be judged, man. You're going to have to be a part of that, what that is, Zechariah 12 and 8. Those 2/3 who's going to be destroyed on this side. And the reason why you're going to be destroyed is just because you didn't hearken and cleave unto the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, when the oversowing score shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Yes. So when all hell break loose and things get bad, just because you're joined to the heathen, the Lord is going to thrust you through with destruction. Like it says, don't join the hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So the Lord, he's going to punish you with Esau Edom here in these latter days. And the reason why? Because you sinned against him and you didn't want to cleave unto his ways. You rather cleave unto the ways of Esau. And this is ultimately going to be manifest when that sea hip come out. Don't be surprised if Nicki Minaj be a big advocate of the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I pray this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Chakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle, elders, great millstone, and Shalom.